Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Hex Token Channel. First live stream of the day. Yeah, boy. Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex. That's how we roll. Hey, good to see everybody. Hashtag Superman in the house. And of course, where the best start off with Hex.com. Hex.com. Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's where it all starts. So if you haven't checked out Hex.com, check it out. Of course, supercharged certificate of deposit on the blockchain, and of course the returns are pretty stellar and a nice entry price in Hex at the moment. So definitely check it out. Make sure you do your investment due diligence. But that's how we roll. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself out there. And let's get into a couple of comments in the chat before we get into some of the price commentary with the market, obviously after major pullbacks in all markets. So we're going to have a look at all of that in the live stream. Zolji's got fake relief rally. Yeah, looks, we'll see. It's not fake. It seems like a real relief rally, but where's it going to go? Did cat bounce? Yeah. Steve D says, looking forward to the stream. Hey, Stevie D, good to see you in the house. We got, dead cat bounce there from Hex Force 1. So that's the idea that even a cat can fall from great heights and still bounce. That's just the way it goes. Crypto Harpy in the house. Let's go. Woo, perfect timing. Great to see you this morning. Hey, CHB, good to have you in the chat there, as always. And awesome stuff. If you haven't subscribed to CHB, most people have probably, but definitely subscribe. And Brazil's in the house there. Let's go, says Briz. Woohoo, let's go. And CJ's in the house as well. Hey, good to see you, CJ, as always. So Hex.com, here we are, folks. Check it out. And, of course, there's a how to buy on the top right as well. So very, very cool. Let's get into the market. The market at the moment, obviously, we've had Bitcoin crash. We've had major correction, all that stuff happening over the last couple of weeks. So last month, maybe 5 weeks or something like that. So it's been pretty dramatic period. And of course, here we have on investing.com, stock market today, Dow rallies as yield slips boost tech after large Fed hikes. There's a lot of words in there, but we're going to have a look into that more deeply. We've got the indices on the right-hand side here. We've got the Dow Jones, that's the industrial firms. It's got 30,668. So we really wanted to keep over that 30,000 mark. That was pretty important there. We can see that over the last month, we've dipped pretty close to it, but not quite got under 30,000. That's a key psychological level. And of course, it took us a while to get above that, if you recall. And it's good to be staying over there at the moment. So that's up 303 points. We've got the S&P Standard & Poor's 500 at 3,789. It's up 1.46%. We've got the NASDAQ with a lot of tech stocks in there. 11,099 up to 72.5%. So it's pretty good. The VIX index, which is like a volatility index for the Standard & Poor's 500, is down almost just under 10%. So that's not too bad. And also the dollar index is also down. Remember when people risk off, they get into the US dollar as reserve currency. Despite what you hear on many channels, it still is the reserve currency. And people wonder why the US can carry so much debt, and it's just because of that factor. That's got the reserve world currency. That's pretty much it. Let's have a look at commodities. We've got crude oil at 116, 118. And it's very important that even in crypto that we zoom out, especially in these downturns, and we have a look at the bigger market. So that's what we'll be doing. A lot more of that in this on this channel. We've got crude oil 116, Brent oil 119 there. So it has popped back under $120, but that is still very, very high. And of course, you can look at a lot of the issues why that happened. And of course, if this was a political channel, I'd go through those for you. But it's a crypto channel, so we're gonna keep cool on that. We've got gold there at 1834, silver at 2169, and of course, food there's soybeans. The food is the one you want to watch over the next few months. That's the one that's going to have a lot of supply issues and inflation issues. Continue. It's already had some. You're going to keep watching out for that. Wheat, etc. That's the one to watch very closely. So that is pretty much that. Let us jump back out of actually, you clicked the wrong button there. So we got here the Dow jumped Wednesday, led by growth stocks, including tech, as Treasury yields slipped after the Federal Reserve delivered its biggest rate since 1994. So it's a pretty big deal. And of course, the Dow Jones jumped by 1%, as we just talked about earlier. The Nasdaq was up and the S&P was up, only a couple percentage points. So here's the bad news. The Fed raised its benchmark rate by a larger than expected 0.75%, with the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell admitting that the recent upside inflation had forced the central bank's hand into tightening monetary policy by more than expected. So, that just fuel for fire there. And of course, what happens is that when we get these markets, that the shorters get into the markets and they start shorting these all the stocks, right? They start building on this. Big firms start playing games. You wonder why everything falls so dramatically. It's because they start selling, borrowing and selling into this news. So very important there. In the press conference that followed, Powell said there was a need to front load rate hikes. In other words, have higher rates up earlier than later on, signaling the aggressive hikes now may not be followed up in the future with similar aggressive hikes. So that's the good news. Excuse me. That is the good news, signaling the aggressive hike rates for interest rates now may not be followed up in the future with similarly aggressive hikes. Now, some of the English in here is just it's pretty crappy, but we're just going to keep going. Treasury yields, which had gained momentum in the days leading up to the decision, fell sharply, paving the way for growth stocks to rack up gains. So there we are. So we've got a bit of with the treasury yields falling, opening up risk on and growth stocks to be in play. So that's good news for us in crypto. Crypto is a risk on asset, so it's pretty cool. Semiconductors stocks were also in the ascendancy, led by advanced micro devices there. So tech companies doing a lot better. Obviously, crypto also does better in that environment. The recent decline in mega cap valuations, together with expectations of the Fed's hawkishness, is nearing a peak. So hawkishness just meaning that they're more aggressive as opposed to dovish is another word you might see. That's but basically they're not going to be very aggressive if it's dovish. So hawkish, they're going to be aggressive with the interest rate rises and of course trying to dampen out inflation, right? It is a blunt instrument and many pretty much say that the Fed's pretty much trapped anyway, no matter what they do. And of course to actually offset inflation, which is so high, was about 8.3, 8.5%, somewhere in that ballpark at the moment. You'd have to have massive rate rises, right, to deal with that. So really, they're only going to be able to. It's a blunt instrument, and they're going to only be able to do so much without absolutely not just putting economies into recession, but into maybe the first depression that we would have seen since 1929. So there's some big stuff happening here, and that's why I said to keep looking out for the food shortages, food prices, and things like that. Is a very good sign of really bad things happening. So yeah. It has attracted some on Wall Street to return to growth sectors in the market. So that's positive news, right? That's really positive news. Obviously, with the pullback in valuations, and when risk on, there's opportunities to pick up some good valued stocks. So that's pretty much it. And we're getting closer and closer to seeing peak hawkishness potentially by the end of summer. And given where valuations have gone for this growth area of the market is ultimately compelling. It's a pretty bullish outlook at the moment. So you've got to be careful with these views. Of course, this is from Timothy Chubb here, Chief Investment Officer at Gerard Partners. You just have to be very cautious, even with experts' opinions, because obviously many experts can be wrong. Some experts are going to be right, so you just got to find which one you think is going to be right there. We have been positioned that way now for the last month. Beaten up consumer stocks called back some of their recent losses, supported by travel and leisure stocks. And of course, you got Caesars there, Norwegian cruise liner. We're up more than 4%. We actually talked about the other day that these were actually down. They got actually hit quite hard. The energy sector was the sole sector in the red as data showed US weekly crude inventories unexpectedly increased as domestic production jumped to its highest level since April 2002. Obviously, that's a big issue. That's the biggest issue that really kind of caused a lot of this stuff to happen at the moment. Was just poor administration policy. Not just poor, but probably intentionally designed to smash the traditional energy markets in favor of renewables. But of course, renewables technology is not up to scratch yet, right? So it's not up to. It's taking a lot longer than people thought it would take in terms of renewable wind particularly. So very interesting stuff there. That is pretty much the general market there, and I think it's nice to see a little recovery rally at the moment. So that's what I think this is. and we're still expecting more volatility in the future. So just hold on, just take care out there. Dollar cost average typically is a good idea, letting the market consolidate and see where it goes from there. Still expecting a bearish market, right? So this is not going away. Inflation is not going away. The interest rate rise is not going away. So things can change very quickly. So you need to be. This whole year is going to be very volatile, and we are in a bearish trend. So take that those two big things into mind when investing. All right, we're going to jump over to Bitcoin. Woohoo! Let's get onto it. Bitcoin is in the house. Hey, Brennan. Morning, folks. Good to see you, Brennan. What's up? Ryan Goins in the house. GetX is in the house too. Good morning, all. Hey, GetX. Says, what's up, y'all? Hey, good to see you. If the launch happens within the next 3 months, I'm excited, says Dave Downer. Yeah, it'd be nice to get Pulsechain launched July, August. Yeah, by August, that'd be pretty cool. September at least, but let's hope so. Obviously, when you're doing some code rewrites, you've got a lot of testing to do afterwards. The other thing I would say is that we just don't know what Richard's gamification is, because it looked like we were launching, in late May, and based on what Richard was saying, and he's talking about 14 days and things like that. So it's a bit really, what's going on in there. That really was very weird, that sort of communication. So we'll just have to wait and see. And then suddenly you're coming out with a whole code rewrite and all this other stuff. Just didn't make much sense. Hexillionaire says 3 arrows is in trouble, says Hexillionaire. I bet they are. Pearl's in the house there. Greetings. Hey, good to see you, Pearl. Good to see global economic info as well as good content, says Property Review. I appreciate that. We're going to be doing a bit more than that and zooming out as well. Tufon says, like the button, smashed it. Yeah, smash that like button and love the like button. Yeah, Hulk smash it. TB's in the house there. I always pick the least picked in the Hex polls. Good job. I only staked. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. I put up a poll before the live stream. I forgot about it. So yeah, we got 34 votes 40 minutes ago. Hex price direction next 3 days, 5 cents or above. 3 to 4 cent range, which is current range at the moment, 3 cents plus 1 to 2 cents and under 1 cent. So let's see how the poll goes at the end of the live stream. What's up, Hexagons? What's up? Tintop's in the house there. I'm sure Tintop, you write that just so that every content creator that you're in the chat with does the old what's up? What's up? It's just funny. Tintop's in there. Nice evening. Hex Machine's in there too. Sup family. And we just have to trust RH. At least whoever sacrificed of PLS and PLS locked in profits. In theory, as much higher prices, just trust the plan. That's true. Excellent in there. All you can do is be patient and trust the plan. That's right. All right, so cool. Let us get on to the market here. We have BTC at 22,478. So nice little gap bounce. Did gap bounces or relief rally, however you want to describe it. The trend is still down, but maybe we will consolidate here, just like we consolidated this very important line here. This was a stronger line, though. The stronger line at 29,400. My line's a little bit crooked there. What happened there? Must have got out of kilter when I was moving things around. We had these support lines here all the way back in July. Let me just get rid of my big fat comment there. Davis says, I pray for a sub-penny buy, says Davis. Yeah, keep your limit orders in place, Davis. That's the way to manage those expectations. So 29,400 was our support line. We had this all the way back at the beginning of the beginning of January. And of course, that was our big rally to our first big price rise there in Bitcoin. Let me just drag that down. We won't forget that. So this is when we broke out. So this is when we had our support lines for this 29,400. We had that again in mid-July between the two mountains of Bitcoin fundamentals. And of course, we had an all-time high here for Bitcoin the 10th of November. And of course, that was at $69,000. So we're quite a way down there at 22,451. So if we take that, we're all the way down at the moment. We're down 67.5% on Bitcoin at the moment. And of course, that is around about a maximum of 71. 71% here. Yeah, 71% down. So that's not a full 85. Remember, if we go to 85, we're going to go all the way down to, say, 84% correction is back down to Richard Hart's target of 11,000. So that's where he thinks it might bottom out there. And of course, the next target, if we break this 20,000, is pretty much 16.5, 17,000. So typically I say 17,000, and we typically, we always punch down a bit further before coming back into the range. So here we are. We expected to come back into 22 to 23,000. We have done that. Obviously, the price spiked down even lower to 20,071. We just bounced off the 20,000, which is interesting. And we're currently at 22,481 at the moment. So that was our next target range, if you recall. We were up, moving sideways here. So if we zoom up, we're moving sideways. And we said, well, it's going to be going down. The probability was going down because we're in a bearish trend. Everything was bearish. But of course, when we failed to actually break out this 32,000 mark a couple of times, and of course down we went. So that's just the way it was. It looks not as dramatic as this quite, but it was pretty close. And that's where we were. So what do we do now? We may just consolidate here, given the way the market's reacted to the Feds for a while. I suspect we'll consolidate here. I find it very hard to believe we'll move up very much, given the atmosphere. But we could have sort of a few moves up to 25, something like that, and then if we get some bad news, down we go again. That's kind of, I think, the more likely scenario. We're still in that bearish trend. Now, we've got the orange lines here. These are the 50-day, and the purple line is the 100-day. The green line is 200-day. And of course, the 50, they're miles away from a golden cross. So we're installing this death cross here that we got back in January 22. And of course, that was a pretty ominous sign there. And we are miles away from a golden cross. So we're miles away from where the 50 crosses the 200-day. So they're miles apart, as you can see. So no golden cross there. And this is where we're at. So we'll probably recently expect to consolidate here. How long? Always uncertain, but we might actually be there for at least a couple of days. And given the news about how the market's reacted and brought up some tech stocks here, that gives you a bit more positivity that we won't go for a sudden move down again. But this is crypto, so you never know what news. We also obviously had Celsius, news, Coinbase. We've had obviously previously to the Luna, so we've had a bit of a bad run in crypto. Some of the big labels are getting smashed, and of course that they have also impacted people dumping ETH and things like that as well. So they've exacerbated the macro news and making things a lot worse. So we've still got that to work through as well. So this is where we're at the moment, and we'll see. We've got a good chance of at least consolidating here for a couple of days, and barring any bad news again. So that's pretty much it on that one. Let's have a look at the general markets there. We've got ETH back at 1,200. That went down really low on Ethereum. So we're going to jump through to here, and we've got ETH. ETH went down as low as. Down here, 1,044, but we did spike down to $950 with that large holder that had to sell down. Was it 93,000 ETH to pay off, to recollateralize a debt there. So even the big whales get caught out. So just goes to show you, and of course they can exacerbate the prices. But we did bounce off, about 1,028, I think it is here, the low. 1,028 on this chart on Coin 360. So pretty tenuous stuff there. Did you think we would be down so close to 1,000 on Ethereum so quickly? All happened so fast, right? So it's just the way it happens. If you've been through these before, they happen pretty fast. And like I say, the shorters get on top of each other, and they short, as well as people also selling down, fundamentally selling down as well. So you get both things feeding off each other. And so it's happens all pretty fast. The other thing, of course, is let's have a look at the markets here. We're going to jump over to Hex. We're going to push that over there, and we're going to go to quad charts there. Go to Hex. See where Hex is at the moment. Hex. Let's pull this up. So Hex is off our all-time high, is currently down. We're up 385. Down about 92.5% at the moment. So down 92.5. Our bottom has pretty much been around 94% down or so. So pretty big decrease there. You could just probably round at 95 almost. 95 is 2.6 cents, so we're not quite down that far, but pretty low. They're on the daily, and of course you can see that we've got what we've been waiting for on this chart is the yellow line, which is the 13 EMA, to cross over the Bollinger Band, the 50% red mark there. So the Bollinger Band is band obviously. The top blue line is the top 95% of prices in the price range, and of course the bottom blue is the bottom 5%. The red line is the 50% price range mark. The average there, and of course we're looking for the EMA 13 to cross over that red line to give us an idea of a trend reversal. We might see that if we continue to see this price action here, we might see that in the next couple of days. That could bode well for a trend reversal. So that's probably a good idea with our poll at the moment. So yeah, definitely something to keep looking out for in the next couple of days. If we can get the market sort of calms down. That's why I've said the crypto market takes time out for a breather, pretty much for a breather. But we are still in the bearish trend. We're still in the volatility. Those two things still apply. But if we can actually get a couple of good days of consolidation around this price range, or even going a bit higher, we could see the EMA 13 crossover. Typically, when that does happen and we get a pretty solid crossover, we then get a trend reversal. So here's another trend reversal here when it crosses over. How long they are is another question. Obviously, the steeper they are, typically the stronger the market will be. So you can see this one here is a bit steeper, and this one here is a bit shallower. We also see that here we have a nice steep one here, and of course that crosses over pretty quickly within a day or two, as opposed to something that's a bit slower. Takes a couple of days before you see a pattern like this one here. But nevertheless, it looks pretty awesome when we see it. Here's another crossover, the EMA 13, giving us some nice action there. Obviously, the steeper the better. Even if it cools off later on, you sort of break out much faster there with the nice big green candles. So we'll watch out to see that in the next day or two, see whether the market can pick its bags back up and get a bit more confidence back in there in terms of buying. So we're at 3.8 cents at the moment. That's pretty much it there. Let's put our overlays on the moment. There's our overlays. And of course, our full retrace would have been down to, 95% is 2.6 cents. We didn't quite make it that low based on my charts. So we got to just under 3 cents the other day. 3 cents has kind of been the closest there. Pretty close though to 2.6 cents. And of course, an 98% retrace would be 1 cent. That's pretty dramatic. I know some people got their limit orders there. Obviously, we're in a bearish market, so if we get more bad news, we could end up going down there. Although I must say that I thought Hex was fairly resilient against Bitcoin, when Bitcoin did its last major decrease. It was actually relatively good. Food for thought there. So we'll just keep watching this the next day or two. But so far, a nice green day today. The low of 3.2 cents, the high of just under 4 cents. We'll see whether we can do a bit better over the next 24 hours with the price. But we're definitely waiting for this crossover here with the EMA there, 13. That's pretty much that on that. On the hourly here, you can see the hourly. Oh, that's the daily actually. But 3.83 cents here on this chart for Hex. Hedron at 267. And it's obviously having a little bit of a 2 green days as well. Is it the daily? Yeah, that's the daily. Maxi has had a nice little relief rally there, up to 6.5 cents, like a boss. This is on the hourly here, just in the last couple of hours. We actually changed it to the daily on the Maximus one here. Let's pull that back up. Boom, 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 boom. Let's consolidate that. So 6.5. Let's have a look at the switch to the premium over Hex. See what the premium's doing. I did say that if we get Hex having a bit of a relief rally, we might get a bit higher, but we do have to break out another. I said if we get 4.5, 5 cents, sort of a decent jump back, we might do that. But at the moment, 70% premium on Maxi, so still doing pretty well. And of course, until Hex really does show a nice little jump, maybe a cent and a half, we might see Maxi could potentially break out of this premium. We'll see on that one, but I have some degree of confidence in that. Obviously, just my speculation though. Cool. That is the markets at the moment. Hope you guys enjoyed that. No news from, not really a lot of news from Richard Hart at all. Lots of different posts on commenting on the market. Nothing from Rack and Rochelle too much. Liquid loans still waiting for the sacrifice balances, and of course the user testing interface. We'll just have to wait a bit more patience on that. Let's hear from Richard Hart on crypto on that point of view. Let's go.
I think cryptocurrency is one of the few things in the world that could really return power back to the people. Every year you get less and less choice, your money's worth less and less, your hours get longer. It seems like almost everything's getting worse. And crypto is one of the few things that lets you extract yourself from that horror. You can participate in the world's highest performing asset class. You can participate in trustless peer-to-peer revolution in finance where there's no banking hours. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's you and the code. Nobody else can stop you from cashing out. Nobody else can stop you from doing what you want to do. And when you give people the power to create good things, they quite often do. A lot of innovations come from cryptocurrency. There's things you can do in crypto that you can't do anywhere else in the world. And I'm proud to be part of that revolution.
So it's a nice piece of word there from Richard. Now, here we are on a PLSD coin, and PLSD coin here has had a nice little recovery in the last 2 days. We're going to change our plane to green again, and of course we're going to use the circles now to spin that around, and away we go. So we're up there on the Pulse Dodge coin, and it's up to $2.20. So looking pretty good. Remember that launched at $1, and it hasn't been around that long, so that's pretty impressive there on Pulse Dodge coin. As well, so going strong there. And let's have a look at the BNB back to 231. So nice to see a little bounce to BNB there, and we're going to jump over the BNB coins, have a look at that. So Pulse Dodge, the original, having a little rally there on the hourly, getting back up to almost 0.6 of a penny. So that's a lot better for Pulse Dodge. The P33 having a little bit of relief rally as well, back up to 16.27 cents. Still pretty low though on a P33 there. IM is still struggling there, 504 there, and of course the low, recent low has been 444. So still struggling there on IM, or Internet Money, the original. That's not to do with the Internet Money wallet, IMD. That is their secondary venture, which will probably be a lot more successful, especially since I sacrificed for it. How about that? That's some willful thinking there. That's how we roll. So cool. Let's have a look at some of the comments in the chat. We've got TV says, I always pick the least picked in Hex polls. Good job. Only staked. Yeah. Stake it to make it. That's what Hex is about. T-shares for the majority of people. Why is that? Because obviously the great returns, but also the ethos that it's better to spend time in the market than trading. Now you can win trading, you can lose trading. So the idea is that you get staked and you earn Hex every day. You earn inflation, but you also earn up to 50% of the penalties. So when people do break their investments to either sell out or trade, you do get a cut. You get your cut of that. So that's a great feature of Hex there. Hex Machine is up from, I think I've got up to this point here, so I better jump through. Dave says to pray for a sub penny. Yeah, limit orders. What's happened, Hexkins? Hey, Ace 5555. Good to see you in the house. Hex Token channel member 2. A relief rally today, then dumping incoming again. Yeah, so yeah, we're still in the bearish conditions. We've still got volatility. So any news will get a sell off again. So I agree with that, Brennan. It's not inevitable, right? Not inevitable. We could move sideways for a little while, which is kind of what we have a reasonable chance of that, at least for a couple of days. We'll have to watch pretty closely though to the markets. Dave says ETH to 300. Dave, yeah, we'll probably keep going down at 300. That's well, last time we got to what, 93 back in was it March 2020, somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, definitely we could get down to that low. Hey all, I know some people have been picking $600-700, but 300 is definitely possible there. Hey all, Hex Huddle in the house, good to see you. Salute to Hex family from Patrice. Hey Patrice. Hex only says, as Gordon Gecko said, money not lost. It's simply transferred from one person to another. Wall Street, great movie, yeah. One perception, or one person thinks one person there. Roscoe says, now is the time to skyrocket your position in the Staker League ranks. That's true, so you can pick that up pretty cheap. We're going to look at the Hex results for the day in about 15 minutes, so we'll check that out. Definitely cheaper to pick up T-shares now with the price of Hex. Sandy Beach is in the house. Woo! Hey, good to see Sandy Beach. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. And happy hump day, says Sandy Beach. I guess it's Wednesday where you are. It's Thursday here already. But most part of the northern hemisphere, it'll still be Wednesday hump day. Get Hex with the signs of the times. Using leverage trading always beats time in the market, lol, says how I'm at it. Using it, well, only if you've got 95% of people get burned doing that, or more, probably higher, probably 98%. You're going to be very good at that stuff if you're going to do margin trading. All right, let's see how we're polls going. 59 votes, definitely smash out the poll, or 61 votes now. So if you fill out the poll, we're going to check that towards the end of the live stream. We're just ramping up. We're only about maybe 40% through. We've got still got lots of stuff to talk about as well. So let's get into it. Now, if you haven't joined Discord link is in the video description. Definitely join up the Discord. We're going to come back to the Hex Daily Stats later on. And of course, we've been also following some of Richard Hart's stuff there. So we're going to have a quick look at some of this. Richard's just hit 230,000 followers, by the way, on Twitter, which is pretty cool. Congratulations to Richard on that one. It's been doing a lot of commentary on Amazon and Bitcoin, things like that. So it's been doing that sort of stuff. So it's worthy of checking out. I don't think we have anything on. I checked liquid loans before we live streamed. I don't think we have anything on liquid loans at the moment. So we're still waiting for sacrifice balances and the or the user tester interface. Theoretically, they should both come out at the same time, given the fact that we got a CEO update on the 12th of May, which is over a month ago now. It's almost probably 5 weeks ago. So hopefully we'll get something on those two items coming out. And I think that was it on there. So cool. I think that's the biggest thing on the item there. And like I say, nothing from Rack and Rochelle at this stage. But we will get into the Hex Daily Stats soon when they come out. Still got about probably 15 minutes to go. We just entered the new day 927, and we got just 2 minutes into that. So still going. I can see our results are still sitting here for the day, but we'll come back to those when they're actually out. The other thing, of course, is the T-share charts. We're going to have a quick look at those. We're going to have a look at the Hex staking ladder when it populates. You can see that all the charts here, the stakers, we're still growing, but we need to get out there, and no matter whether it's bearish or bullish market, we need to get out there constantly and keep spreading the word. So I keep saying that you have to just keep onboarding new people in whatever way you feel comfortable. You should look to do that as well. T-share rate at the moment just climbing up and to the right there. So that's just not going to stop. It's going to just keep going and going and going. And then, of course, the daily payout per T-share has been pretty spectacular, over 6. This is going to keep going up in 2. So the share rate goes up, and of course the Hex payout per T-share is going to go up too. So stakers get increasingly rewarded over time, particularly if you stake get a lot of T-shares now, because the share rate, as you can see, is just going up, and that's going to go up at a steeper angle. So just take that into account. Longer pays better is definitely going to ramp up there. You'll be earning 10 Hex a day, 10 Hex per T-share, 20 Hex per T-share in the future if you've still got T-shares. And of course, getting T-shares is going to get harder and harder and harder. So that's going to play out over time, and people will look back on that. Expiring stakes at the moment, of course, is our global staking ladder over the next 15.2 years. And of course, you can see some of the big candles of the way out here, and all the big gaps here. So we've got big gaps in 2022, 2032, 2033. And of course, depending on how old you are, that will be of interest or not. But here we are at the front end here at the moment. And you can see the candles are definitely getting smaller. We used to have big candles like this spread throughout the the 2021 year, 2020. So definitely changing. The horizon has changed quite a bit there. And obviously we're going to get there's going to be duplicates on Pulsechain. So we're going to have two of these, but they're going to be duplicated like this, looking like this. So this is the next rest of 2022 with the staking ladders coming out. We've got 347 million here in July. We've got 274 million there. July 18th, 411. We've got this candle here that's 192 million. We've got this this is probably the biggest candle of the year left. That's 579 million, September the 1st. And then, of course, we've got quite a big gap between there. And then, of course, we've got 206 million expiring there. And then 188 million in December towards the end of the year. So obviously we'll have some of the stuff here we'll just restake for a short term, 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 90 days, whatever. That's kind of the short staking there, and we'll see how they get on. But that's pretty interesting. Yeah, so cool. We're going to jump over to PulseCon. PulseCon's still coming up. It's getting closer and closer and closer. And of course, fingers crossed we get Pulsechain at some stage launching. It doesn't need to. I mean, it won't stop the awesomeness of the conference, but it's still it would be really, really cool to have that all humming. If you imagine all humming, you got PulseX humming, the trading's going, the yield farming, all the projects, stuff like that. So, but it does seem the projects, a lot of Pulsechain projects do seem to need more time. Many of them just seem to be still developing, so it might actually work out for the better, having a few months delay at least. Because it seems like a lot of the Pulsechain projects still need a lot of work to do to get their products out. So I think for a lot of probably the Pulsechain projects that we've been talking about on this channel, a lot of them are probably have a sigh of belief and probably taking more time to get those up there. So it should bode much better. We've got 82 days left to go for PulseCon, and it's coming. It's getting closer and closer. Under 3 months now. There's ticket prices here. But you can actually get a discount 15% if you use the code on here. I'm just trying to see whether they've got any new people on there. No, we've used to all those people. So a lot of those people will be speaking at the panels. Maybe they'll have some desks at the expo room, and that's pretty much it on there. So there is a 15% discount ticket on there somewhere. There it is there, 15% off. You can click that to get the discount there. Got quite a few people on there. Pulsification, Hex Community Jobs, Jake Gallon Podcast. So yeah, if you're after a job, there might be a job on there, Hex Community Jobs. Haven't looked at that recently, but there might be one on there. The Wildcard Studios, hexmeetups.com, and Crazy Horse, Hex Mitch, Hex Mix, Vibra Finance, and Hex Photos. So a couple of these I actually haven't even been on. Some of these sites I actually haven't been on them, and that's pretty funny. Actually, let's have a quick look at some of these. Over here, we've got Hex Meetups. Oh, didn't mean to hit that one. Hex Meetups there. That's Hex Meetups. So you can go to those. I've got a big K's first one. He's throwing the pitch there. Hex in the car. So there's a couple of things in there you can have a look at. Hex merch is in there too. Let's have a look at Hex merch. So if you want some Hex merch there, it's got some cool stuff. So you can definitely check that out. What else there? Hex photos. Hex photos in there. Actually, I should probably add all these. I'll have to add these all to our community sites. I've got Hex photos in there. There's DJ Paulie in there, pumping it up there. That's pretty cool. So they've got some cool photos in there. All right, cool. We've also got the Million Pulse Tour with the KSB TV guys or crew, and let's have a quick look at that. We've still got that coming up here. So these guys are going to be touring all over the United States. So that's pretty cool. And they are only, 3 days to go. 3 days and 18 hours to go until they have their first venue start, which is pretty neat. So that's coming up. So check that out as well. What else? Let's jump out of there. Don't forget to join Discord. Discord is links in the video description. We're 5 members away from 500. Can you believe it? 5 members away from 500? Definitely get into there. Hexodus here's gone in the chat here. It looks like 3 Arrows Capital is in trouble. Was forced to sell assets to meet margin calls. I think they were at least in part a large seller of Hex at 20 cents. Thoughts? I'm thankful for the prices in any case. 6 Hexodus there. All right, so we're going to wait for that. Let's jump over to the Hex charts here. We're going to go back to Hex charts, and we're going to leave it on these charts here. Get into the chat. We're going to get up to US leverage trading. We're going to get up to that one. Do you think we're looking at a 2-year bear market once Hex bottoms, so it lingers at the bottom for quite a bit? 2-year bear market. No, I don't think the bear market will be as long as that. The problem is that I think we have a bigger issue. We have a bigger issue whether all the bear and bull market cycles would actually stop altogether. What would cause that? A major financial crisis. And we have a couple of things on the horizon for that that could possibly do that. The Chinese Taiwan issue is one of them. We have a lot of bad administrations running quite a few of the Western countries. And I mean, we're talking about bad. I mean, these guys are complete buffoons. And so that's a big problem. So we've got a couple of things there. So bad management, geopolitical risks. We're already seeing a lot of that bad management play out in reality. And it's more people are starting to wake up to that, I think. Once they start hitting their pocket, they can't just sit at the cafe and think life is wonderful. They got to start going, hey, everything is going pretty bad. Who's causing it? And hopefully they'll start more and more people will start waking up to that. So yeah, we've got a few things there to be concerned about. But if assuming that all holds up, it's managed to stay together, then I think structurally crypto has changed. We've got more adoption. And we've got more institutions. They can turn things around pretty fast as well. They play a lot of those same games in the stock market, so but they can also help the markets move back up as well. So I don't know if we'll be quite 2 years, but certainly could be a long time. Now, obviously, no one knows. No one knows. It's always difficult to say. Things are looking pretty bad. So I don't want to color it over with roses. But we'll just have to wait and see on how bad it gets. There is something I think good potentially coming up in the future, but once again, that would just be speculation on there. If we get better leadership in the United States, things could turn around pretty good. But other than that, we'll see. You can read into what I'm saying, hopefully, without me saying things. Ash says, do you think we're so what else we got going? Hex is the future, says Pulse Bezos. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Hex is going to have a lot more reflexivity and bounceability, I think, than a lot of other projects. Still believe that. Now Hex is the future. Yep. What else we got there? Stake it till you make it, says Brennan. Absolutely, stake it till you make it. That's the main thing. Getting a t-shirt, spreading the word. There's only so much circulating supply. What we say, we take the Hex audit, looking at around 3% of circulating supply, or about 17.5 billion, somewhere in that ballpark, 17 billion there, which is down about 11 billion from a year ago. Like I say, we've got lots of good things coming up to eat up the supply, and of course that's one of the key factors that we want in terms of getting higher prices over time. Because obviously in the short-term time frame, whatever's happening in the liquidity pool, people buying and selling is what matters. But over time, you get up more and more of that circulating supply. It does help longer term with the prices. So that's pretty cool. We've obviously got Hedron, Maxi, Flex, all those kind of products. More of those eating up the supply, getting it off the market. That's really important. Particularly if you're picking up stuff that could have potentially been traded, that takes more active liquidity off the market as opposed to inactive liquid Hex, and so that would be positive. And then obviously we've got vehicles like Hex Investment Trust, retail adoption, all that sort of stuff coming up there, plus their OA activities as well. and a few other things, the sacrifice as well, sacrifice activities. We'll see what happens there. That's all coming up. How Matter says, if ETH is dead by 2035, are all those 5 stakes useless? No, because we'll have Pulsechain there. How I made it, we'll have Pulsechain. Sandy Beach says, I hope I can get a group from the US to come. I'll definitely come. Oh yeah, the meetups. Yeah, Sandy's doing lots of great meetups, so a big shout out to Sandy for that. Hex is the big horse, says Pulse Bezos. That's correct. Lies Beneath in the chat there. Hello, how are you today? Hey, Lies Beneath, good to see you in the house. Hey, all Hex, PLS, and PLSS for the win. Yeah, so that's the main game. That is the main game in town. You know, if we take all the crypto, we take the golden products at the top. The Richard Hart's products are the golden products at the top, and of course they're going to take time to play out too, because obviously you need market growth. You need to launch Pulsechain. You need to just keep ticking away with the things that's happening in Hex. Now, who would have thought that we would have got Hedron, Maxi, Flex coming out, eating up the supply of Hex, and how successful they have been. So I think there's still time to play out on those, and I think we're getting a lot of leadership in that space. We're also getting a lot of development within the Pulsechain ecosystem with all these projects. What is it, at least over 80 projects now, maybe more, and of course getting all that development is really exciting. And of course, having Pulsechain delay is actually probably helping a lot of those teams actually get their product finished for when Pulsechain launches. So very important. The one thing I would say is that all the projects need to keep building their social medias. Quite a lot of them, because a lot of them are developers, they focus on developing, but they need to also focus on their social media platforms, just like YouTubers do. YouTubers have to do that. I've been trying to focus on that myself lately. And of course, you just got to spend a bit more time doing that. So it's very important. Nice. Just joining, going to start and go high speed, says Sam. Hey, Sam, good to see you. Yeah, it's not the second live stream. Sam normally has to watch them the next day. Let's go Hexkins. The bottom is in. Buy Hex now. Everyone says DHex. Yeah, well, that's the other thing is that if people are not buying Hex, then the price won't go up, right? You have more sellers selling. You got to have people buying. It's just that simple. So even in a bear market, this is the positive scenario. So everything else is tanking, is red. But if people are buying Hex and they're buying it more than people are selling, then the price goes up, right? That's it. And then you got this big green candle. Amongst everyone's got a red candles. You got a big green candle, and everyone start looking at Hex and go, "Hey, Hex got a green candle. Everyone else is red," so they start buying. But of course, you need people to be buying. You need people to be buying for that. And then of course you're gonna have other people that will just you can always set limit orders on the downside. That's the other thing. So but we are not, obviously, with the 94% pullback, we are not we are also succumb to the bearish markets as well at this stage. But you just never know, do you? Just never know with Hex where the prices will go. What else? Brent says, can we look at DEX screener buy orders in the last few hours, man? DEX screeners on Hex? Yeah, sure. Let me pull up the right chart there for that. Bing, 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 bing. I'll actually go to the DEX screener. I was trying to find the right pool on here. Not sure if this is the right pool, this one. 310 on there. We've had a lot of buys here on the smaller ones here. 200. I'm not sure if this is the right pool, this one. 3, 4, pool DEX 140. Let me just go back to the other screen. It's not looking right. I'm going to use DEX. I'm going to use this one here for the calls. So here's all our buys that we've had. This is on Dex Tools, just when we're confident in this particular price chart. So that's pretty much where we're at. We had a lot of green buys. Not sure if we've had much on the whale bot there. Let's have a look at the whale bot. Let's go last 24 hours on the whale bot. 17 hours ago. OX order book there. So that's interesting. Might pull up some of that in the future actually. 80 million hex staked 4 days. So that's one of these short stakers there. 3.1 million just bought on Uniswap V3. That was 4 hours ago. 5.6 million just sold 4 hours ago. 6.3 million just sold 4 hours ago. So these big sellers here. Crazy stuff there. What's that? OX4F. Looks like they're probably related, those two. And then that's it at this stage. So pretty crazy. I always find it crazy people saying down this price range, but hey, you just never know. Nomics, let's have a look. We're gonna have a look at the last year here on Nomics. Let's see where the prices stack up year on year. Bitcoin down 36%, Ethereum down 44%. Let me just hide that one there. Hash shares Hex at 1 cent will be epic. Those that buy at have time and the market will become multi-millionaires, says Hash. Yeah, a lot of people waiting for the 1 cent there, Hash, so it is a good strategy. I hear Jacinda Ardern placing a tax on farmers for cows pepping. Yeah, like I say, we have an idiot running the country. That's probably as much as I'll say it at this stage because it's not a political channel. But there we are. That's what we've got there. Anyway. So yeah, we got negative 45% here on Ethereum. Binance Coin 31%, Cardano down 62%, XRP down 56%. We've got Polkadot down 59%, Dogecoin down 78% at the moment. A year on year, this year on year, we got Wrapped BTC obviously 36%, Tron down 6%. Hex down 58%, so that's a bit better than it was yesterday, obviously. So a little bit better, we'll take that. Avalanche up 30%. What else? There's Shiba up 13% now. Leo up 94% year on year, and Litecoin up 67%. Polygon down. Oh, sorry, both of these down 68%, 67%, 68%. Chainlink down 66%. Kronos up 13%. Stellar up down 59%. So those kind of some of the leading brand names there, and the market's still under 1 trillion there. We're almost 3 billion away from 1 trillion back there. 79% down on a year ago. Some crazy stuff right there. So cool. That is it. We're still waiting for the markets. I think we've got them now. Yeah, I think we've got it. So here we are. Cool. What day are we on? 297. Is that still not come up yet? 297. It's taken a bit longer than normal. 296. So 296 still hasn't come up there on the X daily stats. It's a bit of a sad thing. So there is our buys and sells there as well. Jump away from that, and there we are. Let's double check that pool there. 267. Nothing. Everything's looking pretty green. Not much move on Pulse Dodge there. $2.20, pretty good. We could actually look at Pulse Dodge on these total supplies, see whether it's gone up much over the night while we wait for the Hex Daily Stats to update. We're going to go to there. Bam. And so Pulse Dodge coin is at 4,874,302 PLSD. That excludes the OA and the BA, which get 10 Pulse Dodge coins minted at the end of the launch phase. Per claimant. So that we go to contract, we click down on number of claims. 21,503 people have claimed, and we're going to take 21.5 divided by roughly 91,000 stakers. That's 23.6%. So that's approximately getting up towards 1 in 4 people claimed. Based on wallets. What's the wallet staked? So cool. And then of course we're just shy of 14,000 holders at the moment, so that's gone back up a little bit as obviously the price has gone up, so more people buying. The whales look pretty intact there, so the whales seem to be holding holding the line at the moment, and of course claims at the moment. We're still getting a couple claims. There's a claim, well, not too many claims actually. 100 there, Tinkering Turtle there, hour ago. So there's still a couple claims coming in, but not as many as there were. So this, might only end up with probably maybe 6 million by the end, which is probably half of the max supplies. 12. So the maximum possible is 12 million. Sorry, but we might end up with about 6 million by the end of the actual launch phase. That's super bullish, I think, especially if the whales have got enough dry powder to keeping that green candle not selling down. 43 days to go. 43 days to go. But like I say, it's probably only as good as the top whale, right? If one of the top whales decides to sell down, that's a lot of sell pressure. And assuming none of the other whales can actually push the price back up, you get my point. So yeah, you can also get the alternative. You can also get a run on the coin. Maybe some bad news comes out somehow. Maybe it's not real. Maybe it is real. But then all the retail book starts to do a run on the bank, as it were, and that's the other way. So 43 days to go. So it does look pretty positive. I think it's got a good chance of doing it. But of course, there's all those those other scenarios that mean it could end up, it gets pretty much sold down with those other two scenarios I just said. So cool. There's Pulse Dodge. It's probably the most entertaining one at the moment. Probably is the most entertaining coin out at the moment. Let me know what you think. Lightsman says everybody knows that the next cow fart could destroy the planet and then the galaxy and the entire universe. Yeah. Just eat more steaks, says Dirty Paws, and steak more. Yeah. I don't want to get. It's like once you start talking about it, it's crazy stuff, man. Now they've touted that for a little while. You got to understand that it's a primary sheep and cows are one of our main incomes in New Zealand, and the problem is that everything that comes out of their mouths a lie. So all their facts come out a lie. They have a ministry of truth. Lie. Everything's a lie. These guys are just it reminds me of things in World War II, right? The propaganda and the control of the axis the axis. They're using all those same techniques, divide and conquer, you name it. But anyway, I don't want to get too much into that because this is a crypto channel after all. Apex says, I am a farmer and this government has no idea we're boarding the soil carbon, but apparently that doesn't account. Yeah. New Zealand only actually does 0.002% of global emissions. So even if you believed their narrative, which is this BS anyway, it's actually just it's trivial. Random question: why do farmers put holes in the side of some cows into the stomach? So weird. Says Brennan. I don't know. You have to ask a farmer that. I'm not a farmer. Moo says lies beneath. Moo. I don't like lies. Yeah. Woohoo! I'm late, but I made it. Says Excellent Choice. Hey, Excellent Choice. Good to see you in the house there. Dirty Puss says, oh, you have the same type of politicians there. Well, they're actually linked globally. Dirty Paws. They actually collude globally. You can see a lot of their colluding in public. It's going to get worse. Dirty Paws. While these guys are still in power, it's going to get a lot worse. To release the cash from floating, says D-Hex. Nice one, D-Hex. All right, so the Hex price direction next 3 days, 5 cents or above, 3 to 4 cents. Current range 1 to 2 cents, under 1 cent there as well. So there we are. There's a couple comments. Not much happening here. We're still waiting for the Hex daily stats. If they got coming out there, come on, you can do it. Yay, they're out. Yay, Hex daily stats. That was a couple of minutes later than normal. Normally they come out about 17 minutes past. But that was quite a lot longer later there. We got the 15th of June here. We got the price at 3.8 cents. We got 11.8% is the price change. And so that's good to see. We're happy to see two price increases there after 6 days of reds there. It's nice to see 3.8. And that is the best day in the last 4 days. So cool. We'll take that. Payout per T-share at 6.142. So just above the basics there. So not a lot of penalties today. Average T-share price is 875. which means if you did a 10-year stake, 875 divided by 3, because you get 200% bonus shares, that would be $291 a T-share for 10-year stake at the moment. So that's $291. Share rate up 7.7 to 22,771. Not too bad. Average stake length is 6.6 years, the same as the last 2 days. APY 38.71%. Hex in the pool down to 193 million hex, and we're back up at $9.3 million. Yes, bring on $10 million. I always get a bit, I always like it to be above $10 million. I don't know why. I just like to see it has a lot more better psychological number. Now, if we go back in time, look at the pool, there's the US dollars in the pool. We go back in time, you can see how different it is just for a little while ago. So 30 days ago, day 897, we're up at 18.7. Look back here, day 890 was the last time. Oh no, day 895 was the last time we're over 20 million there in the pool. 3,400 Ethereum. So you can see just in the, that 30-day period or so, 40-day period, how different that is now. And now here we are at, we got back over 1,000 in ETH there too. So it's kind of positive, so 9.3 million. So that's good to see as well. Let us jump through some of these. We've got 3,600 more T-shares being created, and of course 10,429,000 T-shares in total at the moment. So remember the basics is we've got the inflation and 50% of penalties in the reward pool. And then we have the amount of T-shares, which are the ownership. That means trillions of shares. Whoever has T-shares owns the reward pool, and a proportion to how many T-shares they have. So that's pretty much it. And Hex, what else we got there? Staked is now this is at 9.41% of all Hex is staked. 9.41. Penalties was pretty low today, as I said, 291,000. So that's pretty low. Growth now, okay, cool. So like good numbers. Total holders up 191. Actually, I might just say the current stake is up 63 to 96,361, and of course current holders up 94 to 304. That's probably the two key numbers there. So that's they're better numbers lately. The staking numbers looking a bit better, and I'd love to see the staking numbers get into triple digits. So get out there and spread the word. And get people get their T-shares for them, and of course current holders up 94 there with the people buying into Hex at the moment, so that's cool. And now we're on to day 927. Now remember, 1,095 days is 3 years, so we're heading up towards that. We're over 2.5 years now, and so we're heading up towards 3 years there at the moment, so cool. Dirty Paul says agreed, hang in there Hex family, absolutely. Stake and Chill says Rothko, I agree. And if all the LP are removed from Uni, Hex will be dead. That's true of everything, how I made it. There's still centralized exchanges, how I made it. But of course, yes, you need liquidity. So you need a great product. We got that in Hex. You need supply and demand, and you need liquidity. So you need those three components. But that's true of everything, right? And you need liquidity for everything there. So cool. Let's have a look at the Hex on the CoinGecko. I haven't done that for a while. Hex. Hex here. Rank, no rank on Hex. It's terrible, isn't it? Isn't it terrible? No rank on Hex. It's ridiculous. 2.5 years old and there's no rank on Hex. Come on. Heading towards 100,000 stakers. Heading towards 500,000 holders that have held Hex at some point in time, and they can't give us a rank. I mean, seriously, is that insane or what? I mean, come on. The same community that's got Pulsechain coming, the first system stake copy of Ethereum as well. I mean, come on, guys, get your act together. One of the most engaged, vibrant communities in all of crypto, and they can't do that. I mean, seriously, probably more YouTubers outside of the main couple of tokens in the space as well. It's just crazy stuff there. And one of the most vibrant, probably the most vibrant founder as well in crypto, with easily on that. So pretty interesting. Now, if you go to markets here, they've got mostly Uniswap, but they've got HIT BTC. You got to get, typically the green ones are typically better. So HIT BTC there, centralized exchanges. Got a few smaller ones as well. You can see there. So if Uniswap, there's still centralized exchanges you can go and trade on. They'd probably have a lot more liquidity suddenly pop up in these centralized exchanges if Uniswap was ever the trading pairs went there. Then you got to typically keep away from these bad ones as well. Although they've got Poloniex here recently in there, so you do have to be careful with some of the centralized ones. I haven't been on centralized exchanges that very much at all these days. Mostly in decentralized land, which is the best place to be. Yeah, I do like certain exchanges. I like KuCoin. I still, even with they all get some issues at sometimes, some sort of hacking at some stage. But KuCoin, there's quite a few out there that are doing a pretty good job. Yeah, KuCoin, Liquid Exchange. I like Liquid Exchange. What else do I like? Bitfinex is okay, but I haven't used it for a long time. There's a few others out there. They're all right. Cool. Let us jump away. So Hex at 3.8 cents. Let's see how our poll's going. 1 hour ago. Let's finish our poll. Let's end this one. Bam. Let's see what the results are. Rothko says we're a threat and our takeover is inevitable. They will all submit to our performance in time. I agree, Rothko. I agree with that 100%. I wonder how Johnny Carr's lawsuit against CMC is going. Yeah, I'd like to get an update on that too. I think it should be going pretty well. I don't know if did they actually respond. I don't know. I'll try and find out info about that. Let us know if you have heard anything about that the lawsuit. So Hex price direction next 3 days. We got 36. We got 94 votes. We got 36% of people said 1 to 2 cents. So that's down from here. So 1 and 3. 1 and 3 people, 35% say 3 or 4 cents, kind of where we are at the moment, maybe slightly higher. And then of course 5 cents or above. We got 1 and 5 people think 1 and almost. No, it's actually almost 1 and 4. Almost 1 and 4. People think 5 cents or above. So we might have a stronger relief rally there. And of course under 1 cent, 5%. And we know who's got their limit orders in there. We had a limit. Who was in that? We said 1 cent earlier. Hash says Hash has got a limit order at 1 cent from the looks of it. All right, cool. So that's pretty much where we're at the stage. Yeah, like I say, the next big thing, other than the markets going up, which is always the best thing, right? Unless you're buying, then you want cheaper. And of course, is liquid loans coming out. That's probably the next big thing. We wait patiently for that. We wait patiently for that indeed. What else there? Let's listen to this one. There's a good one too from Richard.
So there is no such thing as perfect security. Perfect security, you have a ratio between the amount of effort you put into being secure and the amount of effort that people are using to attack you. And then you have what's called attack surface. The more places that you have to secure, the less secure a thing is. Hex was more easy to secure than a lot of things because it has a limited number of functions, and most of those functions timed out. So for instance, if there was a flaw in the referral program, that doesn't exist anymore. So it doesn't matter. If there was a flaw in the adoption amplifier, it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't matter. And so by restricting the number of functions and making the code immutable so that it can never change, it allowed us to be extremely secure, which is why we've never had an inflation bug. We're extremely resistant to inflation bugs, but Bitcoin's had several inflation bugs. Monero's had inflation bug. XLM's had an inflation bug. Ravencoin's had an inflation bug. Coins have inflation bugs, which basically means you can mint as many free coins as you want all the time, but my coin doesn't. It's a superior design. Now, Pulsechain, we're using the most secure software that's out there already, which is Ethereum. It's never had an inflation bug. And we're fixing a lot of things. The code that is Ethereum isn't perfect, and we're making it better than what we got.
So that leads pretty well into DHex's comment here. Don't take it from me. Take it from Wales only. Hex is the best performing asset of all time. Yeah, that's true. So obviously it can have big pullbacks though too. And that's what we've got at the moment. That's a very big pullback. 94% is a big one. Let's not take that out of the plate at the moment. So good time to opportunity to pull up to get your T-shares at the moment. Good dollar cost averaging strategy, limit orders, and of course picking up a lot more volume as a retail book. The cool thing about the pullbacks is that it allows the larger holders, they sell down and it gets redistributed to retail. So really the retail has a good opportunity to pick up a lot more volume, get a lot more T-shares, get a lot more out of the Hex product that way. So it really is a cool thing from that point of view. Ivor says, good morning, quick question, and I am, quick question to you. You still think Hex will pump when a Pulsechain launch is announced? Many thanks. Yes, I do, Ivor. Yeah, of course. Pulsechain is a ginormous thing to be announced, and I do think that it does depend on the way how Richard gamifies the launch as well, how much it will pump, but it's definitely pump from here. And of course, the higher we are, the higher we could go with the price rise, is my estimation there. So that's kind of my thoughts on that one. Sandy Beach says, I like the music. Me too. I like the music. That's pretty good on that one. Got in late today, but I'm going to rewatch. Thanks for your constant streams. We are all long-term believers, says Exploder. Hey, absolutely, man, and pleasure for that. So that is kind of there. We go up to an hour and 10 minutes. We're doing pretty good here. Yeah, hour and 10 minutes. And we're going to have a quick look at where we're at the moment. So we've got this article here from investing.com. I'm going to paste this in the chat if you want to have another read of this. Definitely check that out. I talked about this earlier in the live stream, so that is the link to the article. So you can see that there. Fat Sammy said, House there stopped in to drop a like and wish you all well. Hey, Fat Sammy, appreciate it. Woohoo! And TV in the house and well with 5555. Yeah, that's right. So definitely get your 555 stakes. Now we got BDC here at 22,600, right in the middle of our range. Remember we said 22-23. Obviously we went lower than that, but the 22-23 was kind of the range we thought it would settle, and it's kind of where it settled there. So it's cool. And we did get a low, just bounced off 20,000, so just didn't go below on this particular chart, but managed to stay above there on Coinbase. So that's cool. The next targets though, down, if it does go under 20, is down to the 17.5 range. Probably will, spike down to 16.5, something like that, and then bounce back up there. And then of course the next one would be Richard Hart's target there, 11,000. That would be pretty dramatic. So a pullback from here, even from the all-time low, from that $20,020 yesterday down to Richard Hart's target of 11,000. That would be a 45% pullback from here. So that's 45%. And of course, from this one here, we could end up just getting down to the next one would be 22%, and then down to Richard Hart's 50% from the current price on Bitcoin at the moment. So 50% pullback still is kind of where we're at this stage. Ethereum, of course, pretty dramatic, managed to bounce off 1,000, although on some charts, I think they did go down 950, as we talked about in the video the other day. And of course, they bounced off $1,000 there on most charts. So it just depends which one you're looking at. So cool. That's where we are. So Hex at 3.8 cents there as well. So Hex just bouncing around. We're waiting for the yellow EMA 13 to cross over the 50% Bollinger Band in red to give us an idea of a trend reversal. The steeper the price in the price action, the more likely that's to happen fast, and of course go higher, so faster and higher if we get a nice steep one there. So so far it's still a gap. 50% Bollinger Band is currently at 5.5 cents, while the EMA 13 is at 4.6 cents. So still some distance from that apart. So 5.5 and 4.6, so just about 8/10 of a penny there, approximately. So we've still got to close that gap. See if we get some more buying today. That's what we're going to say. James Bond in the house there. Hello, everybody. Hey, James Bond. Good to see you in the house. Let's have a look. I'm going to play another little video file. Let's pull it up there. I want to play the truck ones, but I think they have some badass music. I do love this. One of my favorite ones is the helicopter. I'm going to play this.
Craziest part of the helicopter is when he does his turns and you're like hard to the right, hard to the left. This, I don't know, maybe he thinks it's more fun than just kind of like going like that. You can tell how far up we are because The trucks that move all of the land and the earth around doing mining and stuff, they look like little Tonka toys. They're like little yellow dots. When the engine stops, you die straight.
The pilot has a heart attack. Who's jumping in the seat, me or you?
You, because you're closer. And you've flown on an airplane before, so it's you. True. I'll complain though, from my side. From my side, I'll be complaining.
Watch that mountain.
Yeah, so I like that. I think it's pretty cool. I can't wait to see the whole film documentary. That's going to be so cool. I suspect it's going to be a little different from how people imagine when they actually see it, because they do have full creative control. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting to see the film documentary when it's finished. I need a bag when I did the helicopter ride. Says Sandy next to heart. That's true. Yeah. It's pretty weird being in a helicopter. Honestly, it was quite a cool experience. If you haven't done a helicopter ride, I do encourage you to do it. It is pretty fun. That's where the ETH goes, says Rothko. That's where the ETH goes. Yeah. Is that politics, Rothko? Is that politics? I don't know. That's where the ETH goes. That's hilarious. So new token links there. Don't forget to check out if you want to check out any of the new projects there. These are all vetted. I know that there's the Pulsechain News has put out a site with about 80 projects there. Some of them lead to dead ends. So I'm going to try and go through all of those and add them in here just with the right links on them. Because we don't want any crappy projects that have just got crappy links or crappy this or that. So that's always in there. The other thing, of course, is useful links. If you want to check out a lot of useful links around Hex and Pulsechain and everything, go into useful links there in the Discord. So if you haven't joined up, the links in the video description for the Discord, definitely join. And of course, you can get all access to all the cool information as well as cool community. We have a really good quality community in here, and all very supportive of each other. And if you have a question, people would like to help out and stuff like that, so definitely get in there. There's also some crazy stuff in there with the comic brains or something, but you get my point. There's lots of cool stuff in there, so get into it as well. So nice. There we are. So Hex at 3.8 cents. We got Hedron at 267, and we got Maxi at 6.4 cents, and Pulse Dogecoin at $2.20 at the moment. Pearl says, I need a helicopter. Yeah, I need a helicopter. I'd like for. Have you seen those big super yachts with the helicopters on them? They're pretty cool. Summer's in the house. Hey, Summer, it's been a while. Hey, Summer. Summer is here. That's such a cool name. You got such a cool name. Summer is such a cool name. Lyle says, JK, yeah. Thanks for the answer. I am thinking of buying a lot now, and with the pump, take 50% and invest into Pulse on first dip and keep 50% for copies. Thanks for your thoughts, says Ivor. Yeah, that's cool. And of course, we're still in a bearish market though, Ivor. So you probably want to put some limit orders lower at a lower price if you because we're still in a bearish condition, still in volatile conditions, and of course we will still have more stuff from the Fed and other stuff going on. So we're definitely taking that into account. But it's still a good price level at the moment. Definitely the dollar cost average into for sure at the 3.8. Once again, not investment advice, just my opinions. So there we are. All right, 3.8 cents there. All right, how we're doing? Hour and 18. We're probably going to wrap up shortly. Let me just play this one out there. We are waiting. We're waiting for liquid loans. That's probably the next big thing. I'm going to actually update this library. Actually, going to update my library. I think that's probably it. Actually, we'll probably. Which one? There's another one that I actually like quite a lot, so we might play this one. No, actually, we might leave that one. I'll play that one on the way out. I'll play that one. Play that on the way out. Let me move that. Bam and bam. XRP is looking progressive, says Pearl. Is it? Let's have a look at XRP. XRP, 34 cents, 6%. Yeah, well, 8 is on a recovery there, 10% there at the moment. Let's have a look at our stable coins. We've got UST. UST is 24.5. UST is not going away anywhere. USD Tether, there's still slightly under, always goes slightly under pegged there, have you noticed? And the USDC is typically slightly over pegged. So it's kind of funny. Hey, what's Crow doing? Crow's at 12 cents, up 3%. That's pretty lame. Mana. How's Mana? Oh, Mana. That was a big zone, man, on Mana. What the heck? That's Mana. Mana's at 91, up 12%. Mana is. So it's pretty funny. The power of the zone, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So that's cool. Let's have a look at the hourly on Bitcoin. That's the daily green. So dailies in green, hourlies in green. 7 days. What 7 days? 7 days in red, down 25% in 7 days. Can you believe it? 7 days. People that are new to crypto must get freaked out when they see market corrections like this in crypto. If you've been here for a couple of years, you get used to these extremes. Typically, they say within like 10 days normally is when you either make the most or you lose the most in 10 days of the year in crypto. The 1 month, so we've got 1 month there. 1 month. Is that 1 month still the same? Is it really? It's the same 7 days. I guess it is. Oh, it's pretty similar. Okay, cool. Well, let's go back to the day because the day is green. The day is green. Let's go back to the daily. Yay! There we are. That's how. There's accountancy for you. Mainly the talk, says Pearl. The talk. Okay, cool. All right. Let's get back out of there. We're going to scroll over. So, as we know, the bottom's not in yet. This is our indicator that we've been following. Is the EMA 13 over the 50% of the Bollinger Bands, and we haven't seen it cross yet. Still got a gap of about 8/10 of a penny. It did narrow back here, back on the 11th, but has widened again, obviously, with these couple of days here with the big red price action. Can we get a couple of days in a row of green price action to lay a foundation for a cross? That's what we would hope for in terms of getting the price moving back up there. Obviously, people that are buying, they love lower prices, and good on them. People that have got that aren't buying and would like to see their asset values back up, would like to see a bit of a cross and a trend reversal. That's for sure. So let's see how this goes over the next couple of days. We'll be commenting on that in terms. Our poll, of course, came in pretty strong. So a poll came in. What do we say? A poll came in. A third of people think. If you add up the 5%, then 40%, 2 out of 5 people think that we're going to be 2 cents or lower. So that's 2 and 5 people, and then three out of 5 think we're going to be at the current range or higher. With 1/3, with 23% saying we're going to be 5 cents or above. So that's a more bullish line there. So we probably need to get 5 cents or above to get the EMA there crossing over. So we'll watch out for that. All right, cool. Let's wrap up here. I think we're up to down 22. Year one in crypto is 10 years in stocks, says Murky. Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. Year one in crypto. That's a really good comment there, Murky. So year one, if you're only in crypto for a little bit, it's definitely 10 years. Yeah. So the last bear market was very long, and so the bull markets typically they can be up to a year, but they can be also start to decline pretty quickly. The best of the bear markets, the bull markets typically within a month or two. What else there? Excellent choice says, the price is great right now. I keep buying all the time just for the purpose of the free copy, and so I can swap some PLS. Yeah, that's true. You're so funny, Superman, says Summer. Hey, I try to be funny. I don't think I will ever go back to stocks, says Hex Choice. No, crypto is definitely the best performing market out there. So it's definitely, stocks is like so lame. Most of the stock markets are actually fairly mature too. They're the ones that have a lot of, this is pretty crappy to be honest. Yeah, stocks seem lame, buying bags of people who have bought 50, 60 years ago. True, Mickey. That's a great point, says Summer. If ETH dies by 2035, then our Hex stakes die as well. Cream of the cream. I think we already answered that earlier, didn't we? Someone asked you the same question. It's exactly the same question we asked earlier. Cream of the cream. So yeah, like I answered back there, the Pulsechain. It's the same person asking the same question. My phone is going to die. It's on 2%. You'll have a wonderful night this summer. Hey, you take care. Have a good night too. Yeah, we're up to an hour and 25, so we're going to wrap up here. But let's play out some funky music on the way out. We're going to play PulseCon. We're going to play Power Core Teaser on the way out. All right, cool. wasn't here earlier. Maybe it's the same question though. Thanks, good night, 6 not choice. Peace all says TV. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll be doing a second live stream later on today. Get you there. All fix. Says James. Play that funky music, my boy. Do this sprinkler dance. Sprinkler dance. Yeah, do you want that one? CD's in house. Back to work. Take care. See you later. Thanks for watching. Right, catch you in live stream number 2 later on today, about 4.5 hours from now. Take care all, and dollar cost average, set those limit orders. All right, bye for now.